Revenge films.
I was promoted exceptionally fast at work. Apparently, my colleagues all hated me for that. But I thought I got promoted because the upper management saw my achievements and valued my contributions. I didn't want to fail their expectations, so I worked hard despite being bullied by my colleagues. One day, at a company dinner, I finally realized why I was promoted so fast. I didn't get promoted because of my skills. Instead, I got promoted because they thought I was a safe bet. I was living with my mother, father, and grandfather at the time. My father had a stroke when I was 25 and got paralyzed from the waist down. My mother had been working while taking care of my grandfather. But after my father's stroke, my mother had to quit her job to care for my father too. So the entire household started to live on my income alone. My bosses got drunk at the company dinner and told me,
"Your family needs you so much that you probably will get married, which means you won't take maternity leave, right?" The upper management kept telling us to hire more female employees. Can you imagine how annoying that is? Luckily, we have you, the perfect quarry that comes with a gift.
They kept spouting insults to my face. Indeed, I wasn't in a relationship or planning to get married anytime soon. But I couldn't forgive them for calling me a quarry and joking about my father's misfortune. I also couldn't believe that the company had never cared about my achievements at work. The colleagues who had been bullying me also learned the real reason I got promoted so quickly.
I knew her promotion was not that simple. Of course! How else would someone like her get promoted? The actual reason for her promotion is hilarious! Oh, I never would have guessed.
And they all laughed at me. After that, I lost my motivation to work. As if that wasn't bad enough, my father was later killed in an accident while shopping with my mother. Before the accidents, I sometimes refused to work overtime because I had to go to my father's hospital and run other errands. But when my boss found out my father had passed away, instead of offering condolences, he seemed quite happy about it.
Does that mean you can work more hours now? Without your father holding you back, you can now work harder and make more contributions to the company. That's great news! Put your all into work, all right?
I snapped after hearing what he said. I'm done.
Huh? What? What did you just say?
I quit. To hell with this company! You used me as a human billboard to show how equal the company is. But I have to work harder than any men here. And I can't believe you called my family's misfortune good news. You think everything can be taken advantage of? I won't work for such a terrible company anymore.
But you're the star employee of our company! You can't quit!
He wasn't trying to keep me as an employee. The company just wanted to keep the good quarry for its own sake. I ignored my boss and submitted my resignation. When I was clearing my desk and packing my belongings, my boss called me over, kept me in the meeting room, and lectured me the whole day. He essentially wanted to talk me out of quitting. He tried to appeal to my emotions at first, but I replied, "My family's misfortune isn't something you can take advantage of. This company is the worst. I don't care about it anymore, and I'm quitting no matter what." Then my boss tried to brainwash me.
Men work and sacrifice themselves to support their families! Why can't you learn to do the same?
Sacrifice? How do they support their families if they sacrifice and can no longer work?
I promoted you, and this is how you repay me? How can you be so irresponsible?
I know my rights, and you don't get to tell me what to do.
Men don't quit their job over something so insignificant!
You keep talking about how great men are, but you're actually afraid your performance won't be as good if I quit. Am I right?
Excuse me? How can you be so naive? You need to learn to endure the hardship at work like men instead of quitting whenever you're unhappy!
Men can switch jobs too if they find their work unreasonable, can they? I mean, are men and women so different when it comes to quitting? Why are you trying to make everything about genders anyway? The company only had a few female employees. Maybe I was promoted because of my gender. My boss's constant talk about how men are better made me sick. And of course, my decision to quit remained unchanged. I'm quitting no matter what you say. Do you know you can get in trouble for locking me up here? My boss gritted his teeth in anger and said,
Listen, you will find another job once you quit. I know people at other companies. I'll tell everyone how incapable and arrogant you are! Nobody will ever hire you!
After saying that, he finally let me go, so I left the company. The colleagues who had been jealous of me were so happy when they heard I quit.
She's finally gone. We'll have a better work environment now.
I didn't want to tell my mother why I quit my job, but one day, she suddenly cried and said to me, "You've done so much supporting our family. I'm sorry. You should live your own life from now on." One day, I got a call from the receptionist at my previous company. "Hi, how are you doing?" "I'm doing great, thanks. How about yourself?" Actually... Then she told me the company was in deep trouble. What happened? Clients started to terminate contracts with us one after another. The new product deal also went south. All the clients who left were your clients. My clients? Yes, the guy who took your position had an attitude problem. He couldn't do his job at all. The clients have been asking for you because they found the new guy untrustworthy. When the clients were told you had quit, they started terminating contracts and said they would take their business elsewhere. Really? After I got the promotion, I worked hard to bring in more clients. My old clients referred me to other companies, and I gained their trust and made more deals. But those clients are all leaving now. Also, do you remember the new product you were working on before you left? I heard the new guy took your project over, but the clients didn't like the end product, so it was canceled. The receptionist told me what had happened in the company after I left. Apparently, none of my former colleagues could do my job well. Resultantly, the company's business relationships with the clients fell like dominoes. The company got a bad reputation, and word spread like wildfire among client companies. I was sad when my former boss told me how worthless I was. But now, I'm happy to know my hard work was recognized and appreciated by my clients. The receptionist resigned immediately after hearing rumors that the company wasn't doing well. I see. So you quit too. You certainly are quick to get the news. Of course, I'm good with people. What are you doing now? You're so competent at work. Maybe I can introduce you to someone. Really? Are you sure? Of course. It's a competitor company of our former company. They heard about you and said they're interested in meeting you. I'll talk to their HR if you're interested too. Yes, please. Thanks a lot. Thanks to the receptionist's introduction, I got a job at the competitor company. Before long, I heard my former company had gone out of business and declared bankruptcy. As for the boss who lectured me and the colleagues who were jealous of me, they all ended up jobless. My new boss asked me why I quit my old job. So I told her how my former boss and colleagues had treated me. My former boss locked me up in the meeting room and threatened to call other companies so that I would never get hired again. He also said he'd spread rumors about how incapable and arrogant I was. I'm sure he had never thought his own name would get blacklisted from jobs. He must be struggling to find a job now, but what can I say? He deserves every bit of it.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.